Welcome to the Wyoming Nation Postgame. I am your host tonight, Brian Stevens, joined by Brad Reed. How are we doing tonight, Brad?
We've had better days.
We have had better days.
Watched a lot of football today, but not a great day in San Diego for the Cowboys.
Yeah, a house of horrors, as the broadcast kept calling it.
Take that as you will.
Yeah. So, let's talk about the big news first. Landon Sims appeared to be the most qualified quarterback out there today. He is done for the season, which is not great because the guy that's starting right now, the stats are not good.
No, it wasn't a great day. Wasn't a great day for Caden. Probably his arguably worst start of his Cowboy career. I was really worried about Landon Sims, in the role that they were using him in. It seemed like whenever he'd have the ball in his hands, it was just like, all right, Landon's going to run. And, there's a big risk with that when you have a quarterback. And, he just kind of got caught super weird and, not even like a bad run or anything. It was just, football is football, and he got caught in a weird tackle, and it didn't look good for his knee. And they showed him on the broadcast, no pads, and then a big knee brace with crutches. So that's never a good sign.
Yeah, and we saw that, he had the brace on before he got hit too. So that's clearly been a worry, as it were.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, as PJ says in the chat, prayers up for Sims. We do feel bad for him, but he was by far the more effective quarterback today. Landon Sims came out. He was 1 for 3. He only had 3 yards, but it was a touchdown, and he had 151.7 rating. Meanwhile, Caden Anderson, 12 for 24 for 93 yards and 3 terrible interceptions. Just terrible.
Into multiple coverage type terrible interceptions.
Which is a common problem for him this season. He stares receivers down and forces it into them. When he does, finally go to his second read, like we saw in the pass to Fitzgerald in the end zone, he underthrew it.
Yeah.
That was a touchdown.
Yeah. And, there were passes he completed tonight, which were very good completions, difficult throws, good completions. 1 or 2 of them got called back on a penalty. A couple of nice, throws to Gillenborg, but not enough of good throws. Too many bad throws. I don't know what it's going to take to fix Caden. I don't know if you can fix Caden, but it's probably only going to get worse.
Yeah. I can tell you what it's going to take to fix Caden. Get a full-time quarterbacks coach in. That's not a GA.
Yeah.
Get somebody in there that's going to work with him and get him to stop throwing off his damn back foot. Every time he throws off the back foot, he sails it. Like that one to Sargent, that first interception.
Yep.
Sargent didn't have a chance.
No.
The guy that picked it off was 15 yards behind him.
Well, as the guy in Major League said, he's going to need a rocket up his ass to catch that one.
Yeah.
And that was exactly it. Like, it was not what you want to see right there. And, even Robert Turbin, the color commentator for the game today, he was like, got to stop throwing off your back foot. And, you saw the result of that, obviously.
Yeah. And it happens over and over and over again. I don't even need to tune into the post game to know what he's going to say. I really got to play better. I wish you just believe in me. I'll get better. You've been saying it all season, man. You know what you've got to do, and you still don't do it.
But, at the end of the day, it still comes down to better coaching. And, and we've touched on this before, but there's no limit on coaches nowadays, right? And they really need to make the investment. If they want to move their program forward in any meaningful direction, they need to make an investment in a quarterback coach and a special teams coach.
Let's talk about the special teams. How do you trot Sandvik out there for a 50-yard field goal after he came way short on a 51-yarder and then scream at him as he's running off the field?
That was bizarre. Like, he And it didn't even look like he mishit it. It's just, the San Diego air is much thicker than it is in Laramie. And, a 51-yard kick. I thought Sandvik probably could have made that, but obviously not. But then to trot him back out there to try a second one. But at the same time, what choice did we really have at that point, right? Like, we could stay out there for a fourth down, let Caden throw the football. Maybe we get it. Maybe we turn it over. Like,
the choice we have is to use Keelan Anderson.
Yeah. I don't know if he's as accurate of a kicker, but certainly got a bigger leg.
Yeah. Rashawn's dead on. That was tough to watch.
It was. But, for all the malfeasance that the Wyoming offense committed tonight, I would suggest that San Diego State's offense is not a whole lot better. I mean, Wyoming gave them the ball 4 times on turnovers, 2 turnovers on field goals that were missed with, better than average field position. And they still only managed 24 points. One of those, late in the game when the Wyoming defense was out of juice at that point.
Yeah. And let's talk about the big difference between Wyoming and San Diego State. The big difference is one team's O-line can block, the other team's can't. Our offensive line has been disgusting all year long. It's been bad.
Yeah. And, against Colorado State, we were singing the praises of the offensive line and, how well Caden, was able to sit in the pocket, make his passes, and, our running game being effective and whatnot. But San Diego State's the number 9 defense in the country, and they are so fast, and their defensive linemen are ridiculously good and ridiculously fast. I mean, we kept trying to hit the edge on them, and it was not going to happen all night long.
It blows my mind that we didn't try a bubble screen to Durr all night long.
Well, Durr didn't even have a catch.
No.
We targeted him a few times, but he didn't have a single catch.
Yeah, he only got targeted like 3 times. One of them was Sims slightly overthrew him. He probably could have caught that one, but it was a little far out of his reach. The other one...
Late in the game, he had 2 targets. One of them way over his head, like out of bounds over his head, and the other one... I think it was that one near the end zone where he could have laid out for it probably, but I think it was pass interference, right? I think that one was to Durr. Yeah.
Yeah, it was, Outlaw Cowboy Joe's got a good point. San Diego State defense is savage. But when you have an aggressive defense like that, you cannot be one-dimensional.
Yeah, that was not great. San Diego State, their defense hits hard too. Like, that is a very hard hitting defense.
Yeah, they are. And if you can't throw the ball effectively, all they have to do is stack the box. I think they said we had 22 runs of a yard or less.
22 runs of 2 yards or less. 2 yards or less.
2 yards or less.
Yeah.
And the reason we have 22 carries for 2 yards or less is because our quarterback can't hit a receiver.
Yeah, but they are also very good.
They are very good. But if you have the threat of the pass, you cannot stack the box. San Diego State dared Caden Anderson to beat us, and Caden Anderson accounted for 17 points for San Diego State and 0 for Wyoming.
Mm-hmm.
It was bad. It was really bad. Caden Anderson is not the answer. Landon Sims looked really good. He's done for the year.
Yep.
We got nothing to lose at this point. It's time to bring out Gage Brooker, Mason Drew.
Man, I think we give Mason Drew a shot and just see what happens.
I mean, you're not going to burn his red shirt.
Nope, because now we are in the point of the season where, we are at the point of the season now where you play your 4 games and not lose your red shirt. And with 3 games left, we should be running Drew out there and just see what he's got. I mean, and honestly, going into a bye week, like maybe it's a good time to get him some decent practice reps and see what happens.
You have to try something.
Yep, absolutely.
Matthew says that the fan base needs to chill. This wasn't such a ridiculous loss. I agree. San Diego State's a good team, but the mistakes were inexcusable. It was like, that cannot happen. I do think the game was called well. I think that Javon Bonite had the right plays out there, but the execution was just terrible.
The first drive of the game, I thought we were going to go undefeated the rest of the season.
Yeah.
Like that first drive was incredible. And I was like, oh my God, are we really going to shove it down their throats all game long like this? No, we did not.
Yeah. If in this offense, if you're going to run that much RPO, you have to have a quarterback back there that can move. I'm pretty sure I'm faster than Caden Anderson at this point, and I am not fast, guys. Not even a little bit.
I want to see a foot race comparison. I want to see washed up band guy versus quarterback.
Absolutely. Happy to do it. I'm not going to say I can pass by any means, but
I'll take the under on that.
The under on 6 minutes or 6 seconds on a 40.
a 6 minute 40 time. I think I could do that.
I could roll 6 minutes and roll 40 yards in 6 minutes.
That's what it'd be after you blow your ACL.
Yeah, no kidding.
But however, we were less penalized than San Diego State was, and by almost 40-yard margin. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah. Well, one thing that could be said about this game is it was won and lost in the trenches on both sides. San Diego State got pressure from the D-line. Wyoming did not. And we are like so thin at D tackle. Like we were running 3-man fronts a lot of the game because we had to.
Yep.
Like who do we got out there now? We got Seeds, Florentine, and Sam Sula. Jaden Williams didn't travel with the team due to a disciplinary issue. But
who was it that had the fat guy interception?
That was Tegan Seeds, the walk-on out of Douglas.
That rocked. That was awesome. Yeah. I mean,
I'm surprised they called that an interception. I suppose it was a forward pitch, but just barely.
It was either an interception or he just literally stole the ball out of his hands. One of the two.
Yeah, it bounced off a dude's chest and right into Tegan's.
Yeah, I yelled a lot, woke the dog up because I really wanted to see a fat guy touchdown there.
Yeah, he was huffing that one too. He didn't go far. Tegan Seeds is not a fast man.
Yeah, no, but he's a big guy, so don't expect a ton out of him. But that was really fun to see, and I saw that one of the CBS Sports, I think, tweeted out the clip of it, which was hilarious.
Yeah, balance for Wyoming was good on this one. 35 rushing yards to 20, or rushing plays to 27 passing plays. That's what we want to see out of Wyoming. But you got to do better on the passing plays. So if you look at the average yards per pass, it was, where are we at? 7.4 yards per completion for Wyoming, 17.6 for San Diego State.
Damn.
Terrible.
Well, geez. That's one thing that I kind of noticed throughout the game is, man, just San Diego State's receivers, when they were open, they were open.
Yeah, they were wide open. We were playing a lot of Tampa too. They were sitting underneath. Jones Thomas was sitting over the top, so he didn't get burned deep. That Colorado game was not good for him. I can't say I blame him. But we gave up the curl route all day long.
Yeah, and they capitalized on it every single time. Just so many just easy completions for their quarterback who, I don't know, we got in on him a few times. He was hobbled, obviously, and we got in on him, but
Yeah. Would you like to guess who Wyoming's leading rusher was tonight?
Was it Caden?
No, it was Landon Sims.
Was it?
4 carries for 52 yards.
Actually, I didn't know that because I have the stats right in front of me.
The other running backs combined had 37 yards on 31 carries.
Yeah, geez,
the O-line got owned tonight by a very good defense. Again, credit to San Diego State. They've got a good defense. There's a reason they're ranked so high.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to be the best defense, obviously, we see all year. If I go back and look, I mean, the rest of the defenses, with a weird outlier in Toledo, the rest of the defenses are all top 25 teams, except for James Madison, who's very close to the top 25, but not quite there. And Toledo, inexplicably, has a great defense, apparently.
Yeah, that is weird. Yeah, I agree, Matt. The Sims injury is really bad. He he brings something to the table that Caden Anderson doesn't. Caden Anderson's a pocket passer. We need someone mobile.
Yeah, and I don't know how good or bad Sims is as a passer. I mean, we haven't seen really enough of that in game situation to really be able to tell. And even the touchdown pass he threw, like he was running on the fly and hit Sam Scott, at his feet basically, and Sam Scott made a terrific play to get into the end zone. Shed a tackler and kind of dove forward and spun himself forward into the end zone.
Yeah.
It was a great play by Sam Scott and, a good play by Landon Sims to get out of trouble and get that completed. But, we just haven't seen enough, I guess, to judge him as a passer. We just know he's a really good runner.
Speaking of Sam Scott, when you're pinned inside your own 5-yard line, why is Sam Scott not in the backfield?
Bring your hammer, man.
I never understand that.
Bring your hammer.
He's 6'3", 240 pounds. Like, run that guy. Nothing against Teron Kelman. I think he's a good back. He was definitely overmatched tonight. But when you need somebody to go downhill, bring in Sam Scott.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And, they brought in Kelman, and Kelman kind of, danced around a little bit, at the beginning of the game. And, in the second half, he was doing a little bit less dancing, a little bit more, running downhill. But
it looked like Flea talked to him after the first quarter.
Yeah.
To be a cut and go instead of trying to
you can't dance on the San Diego State defensive line. They're just too fast, too good.
And we saw what happened. Like when he cuts and goes, he's getting 3, 4, 5 yards of carry. When he dances around, he's getting 1.
Yep. I think
inept is the best way to describe this offense today.
Yeah.
PJ.
I mean, geez, the defense, they made San Diego State's offense look putrid. Like, they held in the best they could. The offense wasn't, keeping them off the field for very long. The offense had a lot of 3-and-outs themselves. So they were out. They spent a ton of time on the field. Geez, I think the time of possession was ridiculous. Like they had the ball for like 9 or 10 minutes in the third quarter.
Yeah. And again, that's because the offense was doing nothing.
Yeah. So time of possession was even 30-29. But it was, but that third quarter just killed him.
Yeah. So David, I do think he's a pocket passer. I think we saw against CSU last week when he gets 3 seconds, like he's asked for all season long. He's on target. When he's under pressure, he does not handle pressure well. He doesn't. You've got to get an O-line in there. You've got to get an offensive line coach that is going to teach their guys how to keep a clean pocket. Because as it stands right now, there is no way that that O-line is giving him nearly enough time to do what he needs to do. He told us at the beginning of the season, give me 3 seconds and I'll carve it up. I think he should maybe lose the attitude a little bit, because there is nothing I've seen this year that says that you're nearly as good as you think you are. So let's have a slice of humble pie and maybe focus on being a better quarterback and not running your mouth.
Yeah, that's a fair assessment.
Yeah. Matthew, you got a point. This is a really, really tough road game. And we saw the weaknesses. And the weaknesses are, again, it was the trenches. It was the trenches this game. I am a personal believer that we need to do something with the offensive line coach. I don't think they've done well at all this year. Caden Barnett cannot be the only player that cares on the O-line. He can't.
Jeez, that guy, man, he was in shambles after the game and during the game after the Landon Sims injury.
Yeah, but he's the only one on that front five that plays with any sort of passion.
Yeah, I suspect if Jay Sabel is in self-preservation mode, which I'm guessing he's probably, if he's not there, he will be. And I think that his offensive line coach will probably change in the offseason.
Yeah, I'm happy that we have some guys doing a podcast that's fun, but yeah, I want to see him out there cracking skulls instead of yucking it up on a podcast. I mean, if they can do both, great.
I actually haven't even listened to the podcast yet. I probably should.
They're funny. They really are.
I suspect it probably would be because offensive linemen are probably pretty good characters. I just, God, my podcast rotation is just packed. It's hard to fit in any more podcasts. But yeah, I should give it a listen one of these days.
Yeah, looking at just a sec. Is it not showing me? Sorry, I'm looking to see how many times Krister was targeted in this game. He didn't have a catch. He didn't have a catch, so it's not showing up.
No. Usually they have the targets listed, but I don't see them.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything. Only one drop in the game. That was Richardson in the fourth quarter. But I mean, how many times do we have to let Anderson go out there and just throw a ton of interceptions before you give someone else a chance?
Yeah,
the guy is broken.
I was surprised that, after his second interception, that they didn't have Sims out, and you saw Sims trying to kind of coach him up and, pat him on the back and keep his spirits up. But, at that point, they probably should have pulled the plug on him and let Sims just go at it full time for the rest of the game. And, maybe butterfly effect where he doesn't, break his leg or whatever, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I was really surprised, and it really seemed like a poor coaching decision at that point to not, Caden's he doesn't have it tonight. Pull him. Let's, regroup and, figure it out for the rest of the game, but that wasn't it.
Yeah. It was.
By the time Caden threw his third interception, there was nobody left to trot out there. So,
yeah. Now in our group chat before this game, Shay, one of our other hosts on these shows, mentioned that the linebackers are really going to have to step up and shut down the run, which for the most part they did all game, other than that last 50-yarder where the defense was just gassed.
Yep.
I mean, your leading tacklers today, your leading tackler was Ethan Stolzatz. Braden Johnson tied for third leading tackler. Chisholm Mifiani had 5 tackles. But the biggest issue that I see today is there is 1 tackle for loss and 0 sacks. 0.
I was surprised we didn't get any sacks considering their quarterback was on one wing and, kind of whatever. But, yeah, I thought, I don't know. And the linebackers played really well, but also that was without Eller for at least a couple of series too. I don't know if Eller ever came back in, but he disappeared with that injury there for a little bit. And,
for what it sounded like, he was in the tent for a long time. That would be a big loss. He's been a good player this year, but
terrific player this year.
Stolzatz has been damn good too. The entire linebacking core looks great.
We're now linebacker U. That's what it is.
Yeah. So for any of you on the YO Nation board that have been calling Aaron Bull a nepotism hire or saying that, Jay Sawbell was promoted so that Bull could get D coordinator, that's conspiracy theory shit. That's not true. Aaron Bull has proven that he is a damn good D coordinator.
Yeah, I fear that we're going to lose him to a better program sooner than later because he's been very effective as a defensive coordinator. And he's, last year his defense was okay. This year his defense, for a Mountain West defense, is elite.
Yeah, it's lights out. The only team that exposed us was Colorado, and that was just because Colorado's very fast.
Do you know what happened to Colorado today?
Yeah, I saw they got smoked.
It was awesome.
Yeah. So, David, I don't know if we run more freshmen and sophomores than most teams. I do think we saw last year that there was a lack of depth, and the depth that there was, we had a lack of talent. So, honestly, I don't have an issue with the freshmen and sophomores that we're running. I do think that, we should probably be hitting the portal pretty hard on the offensive side to start bringing some guys in.
Yeah.
I know that O-line is the hardest position to recruit in the portal because lots of teams will pay really good money. But if you can find a guy like, I don't know, like Braden Johnson out of Oklahoma Baptist, I'm sure there's some O-linemen out there too that are worth a shot.
Just go raid Ferris State or somebody like that, and just see what they bring to the table.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, again, this was a total disaster on offense. Absolute total disaster. On defense, it was one of the best games that they've played all year long. They just got gassed at the end of the game because, as per usual this season, the offense couldn't move the ball, couldn't hold on to it, couldn't control the clock. So the defense was on the field all game long. Time of possession on this one, I'm looking for
pretty much in the middle, 29-30.
I'd be curious to see it broken down by half because I think San Diego State had the ball a lot in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, that third quarter, they controlled the entire third quarter essentially.
Yeah. Yeah. So we know that injuries derailed this defense today. Rashawn, you're dead on. They were thin. They were thin at a lot of positions. They did a damn good job. Those guys care. Any passion that we saw today was on that side of the ball. Like, you got Caden Barnett and the defense. Those are the players that seem to care. I don't know what the answer is at receiver. I do think we've got some guys going. I really think it's a case of the quarterback not staring down a receiver and throwing to someone that's open. Because I don't know if you guys noticed it, but on all three of the interceptions where it was thrown into double coverage, there is a guy wide open. Caden Anderson's the easiest scout on the planet because he's going to look at one guy, he's going to stare him down. All you got to do is slide a linebacker underneath and you're money.
So looking at the third quarter, San Diego State had the ball for roughly 10 and a half minutes. But in that 10 and a half minutes, I don't know if they actually even.
They didn't score. They got 105 yards out of it in the third quarter.
But they had their field goal attempt that missed.
Correct.
So, yeah, held the ball for that long and didn't score. I mean, that's a win for the Wyoming defense.
It is. The Wyoming defense did well. They did really well today. Wyoming had 84 yards in the first quarter. That is by far the most yardage they got. I think what we end the game with, we ended the game with a total of 185 yards. So nearly half of the yards that we got came in that first quarter.
It was a really good first quarter, though. Well,
it was
a really fun first drive anyways.
So, Matthew, I totally agree. Caden Anderson's a full-on head case at this point. But I can't say I blame the kid. He's getting his ass kicked every game. I do think it's partially his fault, but I do think a lot of it rests on the O-line.
Yeah, they just need to get a coach. Just get somebody in there that can work with the quarterbacks exclusively and just be with them. I don't know.
Yeah. And get a new O-line coach in there. You have to. I mean, the interior of our D-line was looking pretty decent for most, or of our O-line was looking pretty decent for most of the season, but the tackles are bad. Like, it doesn't matter who you roll out there at tackle, they're bad.
I was watching the Montana game this afternoon, and they were playing Weber State. And Weber State's offensive analyst, not even one of their coaches, their offensive analyst is Jamie Martin. 15 years in the NFL as a quarterback. That's their offensive analyst. It's like, we could go find somebody like that, right? Probably.
Yeah. I do think at this point, Javon Bonight's earned a shot at being the full-time OC next year.
God, I hope so.
Let him be the receivers coach and the OC. Bring somebody in to only work with the receivers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Bonight with a full
only work
season.
with the quarterback. Sorry.
Yeah, I knew what you meant. I think a full season with a full offseason with Bo Knight, able to tailor the offense, bring in some guys that, he kind of likes. And, I'm sure he's got resources. He's coached a lot of places. He's probably got some resources that, he can go find a quarterback coach if he wants one. Yeah, he needs to, preemptively, I think they need to give him the full-time job.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Just, name him the full-time, or name him the permanent OC, get on with life. Everybody's happy.
Yeah. One thing is for sure, though, if Jay Sawville doesn't make the coaching changes that need to be made this offseason, he's not the head coach. He shouldn't be anywhere near a football team if he is not willing to make the hard choices.
Yeah, and like I said earlier, at some point he's going to have to go into self-preservation mode, and that's gonna be some hard decisions. It's going to be, you might have to get rid of your friend at offensive line coach, and at the very least, and but at the same time, he needs to go out and make 2 hires, and that's not it's the more fun part of your job, making a hire instead of letting somebody go. So,
yeah. But at the same time, if you want to make this a successful team, this season's a wash, guys. I can see us beating Nevada. I don't see another win on the schedule. I'm sorry to say.
I think a Hawaii win's possible.
On the islands?
It's possible. You don't know what Hawaii's going to do.
It's possible, but that's a 6-2 Hawaii team.
That's fine. We play pretty good defense.
We do.
And I have no idea what to expect out of Fresno State. They got their asses kicked by Colorado State. But they also kicked the crap out of Boise. I don't know what kind of team they are, and maybe they don't know either.
Yeah, the whole conference is weird this year.
Well, yeah, we're going to see Mountain West champion New Mexico here in a few weeks.
Yeah, which I hate to say it, but props to Bronco Mendenhall and the job he's done there. Or no, Jason Eck.
Jason Eck.
Props to Jason Eck for what he's done, and Bronco Mendenhall can kick rocks.
As we were just talking that through, I was like, I should go do some degenerate gambling real quick and just take a future out on New Mexico to win the Mountain West.
Oh, that's probably not a very good spread right now.
I know. The same as taking Fernando Mendoza to win the Heisman Trophy 2 months ago.
True.
Somebody did that.
Yeah, I think Hawaii and San Jose is on right now. I think
it's on right as we speak.
It's what followed up the Wyoming game.
It's the game I'd have on right now if I didn't have the Oklahoma game on.
Oklahoma?
I really need an Oklahoma win here because when we go to Alabama here in a couple of weeks, I really want to see a night game.
Yeah.
And the only way that happens is if Oklahoma keeps looking competent. Which they're about to stick a dagger in Tennessee, so that'll be fine. Uh-oh, maybe not. John Mateer just threw an interception. That seems bad.
Yeah, so big plays tonight. Wyoming only had 5, which is rushes of 10 plus or passes of 15 plus. San Diego State had 11.
Oof.
And the vast majority of those were passes.
Yep. Well, like you said, that we were giving them those curls, giving up those routes, and they took full advantage of them the whole time.
Yep. And their rushing plays, they only had the one really big one, which was that 50-yarder from Lucky Sutton towards the end of the game. The other ones were right at 10 yards, and they were all in the second half. Again, after the defense had just been beaten up the entire game, and especially in that third quarter where they just could not get off the field.
Yeah. Well, they didn't give up any points again, but probably gashed themselves for the rest of the game for sure.
Yeah. It was we'll say it over and over again. We've been saying it all season. The offense is the problem, and it ain't the play calling anymore, guys. The play calling looks good. Bo Knight's doing everything he can, but when your offensive line is a colander, there ain't a damn thing you can do.
Never heard that described. Used a colander to describe a football thing before. So nice.
I do what I can.
Yeah.
So I think we've beat on this enough. I do think that Caden Anderson probably shouldn't see the field the rest of the year. I think we need to give somebody else a shot.
He's going to see the field the rest of the year. I just the hesitancy of this coaching staff to make big changes like that is not their strong suit. And, I think with the bye week, they probably should, get Drew ready to play, perhaps to start, but it's going to be Caden the rest of the season. Like, it would have to be unless we are completely out of bowl contention going into the Hawaii game, it's going to be Caden.
I will tell you this. I don't think there is a quarterback on the roster that has seen snaps this year that is going to see the field next year.
Well, we have played Drew.
No, we haven't. He hasn't been on the field.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay, never mind.
So we got Drew and Hasselbeck coming in next year. They need to be looking in the portal. I hope that Sims is okay. I do think Sims has got he's got that it factor you saw from Andrew Peasley. Where was Peasley the best quarterback? No, but he got it done when he needed to get it done.
Yep. Yeah, Peasley was really hot and cold, but that was whatever. It was fine.
Yeah. It'll be nice to see Jaden Williams come back. He's been a pretty good disruptive force this year. So
not sure. Need all the depth we can get on that defensive line.
Yeah, man.
It's the hard, but arguably it is the hardest position to recruit for too.
I'd say tackle is probably harder.
Tackle's hard. Defensive line, like interior defensive line, is impossible. Like, just so hard.
Yeah. Yeah, but there are a ton of injuries in the interior defensive line this year, which is a bummer to see. So hopefully those guys get rested up. Be good to see Dante Drake back there. It'll be good to see Jaden Williams come back. We're going to miss Ben Florentine.
Oh, man.
That guy's a monster.
Billion times. Just man-eating machine right there in the middle. Takes up a lot of space and a lot of offensive line's time.
And he's not a big guy for a D tackle. I think he's like 270.
But just eats people.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think that's all I got, Brad. Anything else you want to bring up?
No, it's a bye week next week, so we might do a roundup of a completely off topic thing, maybe basketball, maybe wrestling.
So there is a basketball game on Monday. I'll try to get a post game up from time to time on the basketball team. There's so many games that we won't do one after every game, but we'll do a few.
If only we had some interviews to post up.
I'm working on it, man. For those of you that don't know, I did a bunch of basketball interviews at Media Day. I didn't turn the noise canceling on my mic, so the audio is terrible. And I have been working as hard as I can to clean those up, and it's been real bad.
Yeah. Yep, that happens. But yeah, we may do a roundup this week of just something extremely random. We've done those before.
Yeah. So Rashawn, this makes me wonder: was Jaden a wrestler? Like the way he moves and the way he throws his weight around, he kind of looks like he was a pretty decent heavyweight.
Simultaneously to the football game going on, the Cowboy wrestling team was in Rock Springs tonight, taking on Western Wyoming. One of NJCA's top teams, and a ton of highly ranked guys. And the Cowboys came out of there with a 30-7 win? I think it was 30-7.
Nice.
Let me go back to my.
And Rashawn confirms
39-7. They beat Western Wyoming.
Say Rashawn confirms that Jaden was third in the state as a heavyweight, which is not surprising.
Not surprising.
That kid's strong.
So simultaneously to the wrestling duel going on, Joey Novak was at the NWCA showcase and lost a sudden death overtime. Geez, what was it? It was a sudden death overtime match against Stephen Little from Arkansas Little Rock. And it ended in like pretty bizarre fashion where he had a takedown at the end of overtime, but they reversed the call because they said he utilized an illegal headlock to get the takedown and gave Little 1 point in the match. So
dang.
but bizarre ending to that. And probably, I don't know. That's when the Joey's going to keep bookmarked and revisit later in the season, I'm sure. So
yeah, winter sports are going to be a good time this year, guys.
oh my God, the Dodgers just tied it up in the the top of the ninth.
Yeah. So we'll go ahead and sign off. Let everybody get to the World Series.
This is we're going to extra innings, I have a feeling.
All right.
My God.
So yeah, I believe the Blue Jays are America's team tonight.
Except for Chad. Chad's the Dodger fan through and through, and the rest of us are all Blue Jays.
Yeah, my buddy Garrett's a big Dodgers fan too, so I have to hear that all the time from him.
It's so annoying.
Yeah. Thanks again for joining us, guys. Hopefully one day we'll be able to get some audio on this. I'd really like to make this a Cowboy call-in. The logistics of that are confusing.
God, we're just get the call-ins like what Paul Feinbaum has. Paul, we need to fire the whole team. Every one of them. None of them come back.
Yeah. Still, it'd be fun. That's something that hasn't been around in Wyoming for quite some time. It used to be what I listened to on my way back from the game, so I miss it.
I don't think I do.
You haven't lived in Wyoming for 2 decades.
Yeah. That is true. I did hit my 20-year anniversary in Montana this year, so.
There you go. Cool. Well, thanks again, guys. Signing off. I'm Brian. That's Brad. And we will catch you all next week with some sort of show. We'll figure out what when we get there.
Mm-hmm.
Go Pokes.
Go Pokes.